Hey everybody, it's Coffee with Mick. Frank and honest discussion about whatever I want to talk about in the morning. Yeah, I just saw probably the weirdest episode of Star Trek Voyager, and then not bad, but weird, because it starts out, simple plot. The Doctor makes a holo novel, clearly inspired by the crew, but they're kind of like more villainous versions of themselves because, he wanted to show what it was like to be an oppressed hologram working under Starfleet conditions because in the Alpha Quadrant, every other EMH Mark 1 has been downgraded from being doctors, which they were programmed to be, to doing hard labor in mines. They even show so at the end of the episode. It's actually very bleak. But uh the episode's a little weird because at one point, when he tries to get his book unpublished, because his publisher, just goes ahead and sends it out without his consent because he's a hologram and therefore not a person. They go to court, and at no point does anyone bring up the case for Data from Measure of a Man, Star Trek The Next Generation. What? You don't even bring it up just to deny it, saying that precedent was simply for Lieutenant Commander Data. It is not for every single artificial intelligent life form. Something like that. But did they say it? No. The episode just kind of felt like a retread on it. Star Trek kind of does that sometimes. They retread on old subjects. Sometimes, this is honestly not the worst time they retread on it because I can actually believe that Data's win was just for Data and it didn't apply to any other artificially intelligent life forms. Because you remember when he made Lal, Starfleet tried to commandeer her as property. And then you got the exocoms. They had to work to get them, qualified as sentient beings. So yeah, I can buy that. But still, it was a little weird. It still felt a little repetitive. Yeah. It's at least better than the time they retconned the episode from the original series where everybody got drunk and crazy. And then Tasha Yar banged Data because he's fully functional. Remember that? That was an awkward episode. If you prick me, do I bleak? Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. It was not a bad episode, but it was definitely a little repetitive. They've done this before. And it honestly just puts Starfleet in a really bad light if they didn't make Data's case legal precedent for all sentient AI. Especially since at the end of the episode of Author, the one of the Mark Ones tells another Mark One to read the author's unrevised published novel because he felt it was very provocative and probably gonna start a revolution in the Alpha Quadrant. Yeah, 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 pretty good. But Star Trek does repeat itself a little bit. Yeah, it's at least another thing they also repeated twice in this series. They've done the Offspring at least 3 times. First had to be in Deep Space Nine when Odo finds a baby changeling and he wants to raise it and help it grow, but in the end it dies. But the last bit of its sentience sacrifices itself so Odo can shape change again. And then again, also in Voyager, when 7 of 9 makes a Borg baby, essentially named One. He's very nice. He's a nice young man. but because he knows that the Borg will try to come after them until they can assimilate him, he shuts himself down, and it's very sad. Like, can we please stop letting, people giving them children just to kill them off? It's very depressing. Ugh. So yeah, end note of this. Sometimes Star Trek can just repeat ideas a little bit, and it's weird. And it's not bad, but it's weird. Hope you enjoyed this. I wouldn't say this is a ramble. This is more of a full-on musing, because it had a direct focus musing. And as always, I hope you have a morning.